What's up, YouTube? It's me, the artisanmc, with another reaction for you. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. I know it's a late one, but I got to get this in while it's still on my mind. Otherwise, um, I will get buried by the mountain of reviews I need to do. What up, Artie Idmore? I see you in here. Yeah, that late night hype, man. The late night. I know AM is live right now, so he's doing his due diligence on the Puffy stuff. I got to get up to speed on the Puffy allegations before I start even talking about it. But what I did want to talk about was this Hunger Games movie. I didn't have time to make a thumbnail for it because my head is hurting. I'm tired, and I need to get home to go to bed before I got to turn around and come back this direction. So, what I say about this movie? It was longer than I expected. I did not expect this movie to be this long, and I felt it. This is the first movie in a bit that I felt that long run time. What up, Toya? That long run time did not fucking help because I thought the movie was over or they were going to go to a part two, and they rolled on with another fucking half hour, 45 minutes of a movie. And I was like, oh, what the hell? Where is this going? And that kind of lost me. I was into it for a minute, for the first two parts. But that last part, I was like, okay, I'm curious what's happening here, but that dang, dude, this is going on. It's just dragging. And it's not making me upset. It's just that my head fucking hurts. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that it took that turn. Yeah, Artie Idmore, the grind is real. And I really grind it out. So, where I get in this movie? After finishing this movie, the first thing I think of is that I need to go back and watch the original three Hunger Games movies. Because I'm sure there are some subtleties that I'm missing. Like it wasn't the traffic. Here we go. It wasn't until, bro, what are you doing, idiot? Where do you think you're going? You not reading the signs? Stupid. Jesus. Switching down to one night. This is gonna take forever, and I'm tired. Um, Son of a bitch. Wish I could have slept at work. Anyway, it took until I was going to see this movie, and Black Bane reminded me that, or informed me that this was the story of Donald Sutherland's character in the original Hunger Games movies. I didn't know that. I didn't click with that at all. I didn't really know what the story was with the Hunger Games. I understood it was probably a prequel. I was like, okay, cool. I'll watch it, see what's what. That little wrinkle in it made it a bit more interesting because I know where this character ends up. And I was into it. I was curious about what was happening in this world that early on. And it was giving me a lot of different vibes in the movie. But I wasn't disappointed with it at all. It wasn't until part three that the shit almost like grind to a halt. And like it got real slow and wanted to tell this whole other story that could have been left in another movie. It could have really been left in another movie. If you guys can hear me, give me a one in the chat, because I keep seeing people popping in, popping out, and I don't know what the hell is going on. If you can hear me, let me know. So, okay, you can hear me? Cool. So this movie follows, also to give you a reaction, not a review. So the main character of Coriolanus Snow is a bit interesting. Basically like a kid growing up in a war-torn era, which is what he is, and really trying to put his family back on top after his father has passed. And his father being sort of a visionary patriarch in this society, creating what is known as the Hunger Games. And for 10 years, the Hunger Games have gone on, and Coriolanus has worked his way through school to be in a position to gain wealth and power for his family again, and it is snatched away from him by Dr. Gauss, played by Viola Davis, who is a creepy woman, creepy Frankenstein-looking damn woman. What up, Rainfire? I got your Instagram too. And they put a new wrinkle into the Hunger Games this year because viewership is down. So the prize that Coriolanus knew he was going to get that would make his family, whole again, right again, they could pay their bills, not get evicted out of the family home, is snatched away from him. He is now saddled with the responsibility of mentoring a tribute in the games to help viewership. And that his future hinges upon this. Now that was interesting to me because it's the ideal of entwined fates, right? Your fate is the same as somebody else. You are tied together and both being pushed into some water. You're either going to work together to swim, or one is going to drag down the other and drown. That's how I see it. So it was a fairly interesting scenario that the two of them ended up getting pushed together. Coriolanus Shaw being, the capital, and Lucy Gray from District 12, played by Rachel Zegler. Now, I will say this. I heard from a Black Vein, or Steven was telling me before I did the Madam Web reaction, that this movie was really getting panned really hard. Fucking stupid shit is this? And I told him I wasn't surprised because Rachel Zegler was in it. And the fan base is really pissed at her about her comments during the Snow White thing. Why that has anything to do with this movie is a wonder to me, but In typical fashion, when you got a rabid dog and there's red meat out there, it's going to attack the red meat. That's what it is to me. That like the Marvels, the red meat is a mouthy actress but has some spit to throw in the direction of the fan base. And the fan base showed up to let that actress know what they thought of, which is by making the movie bomb or trashing it review-wise. I told you guys before, I'm not for that necessarily. I'm not for shitting on something for the sake of shitting on it just because I'm mad. That sounds a bit too feminine and emotional to me. Just a bit. Be that as it may, the only thing that bothered me about Rachel Zegler in this movie was her fake country accent. It was bothering me a little bit because I kept thinking she was trying to do her impression of Dolly Parton or Patsy Cline or something like that. That's the two people that kept coming to mind every time I heard her speaking in this fake country accent. The other thing was she was singing a cappella in this. As soon as I heard that singing, I was like, oh, well, this shines a new light on that whole Marvels thing, doesn't it? Because here this movie is starting off, and they got some singing in the front. A cappella. She even gripped the mic and started just trying to swoon. But the title is The Songbird and the Snakes. Okay, there's your songbird singing a damn song. Now, this would be weird until I got to the end of the movie and saw who the director was, because I went into this movie cold, right? Not really knowing anything about it. I saw a trailer, didn't really, blow my skirt up or anything like that, but I figured I would go see it. Well, I saw the other Hunger Games, right? I'm a completionist. Well, when I saw who the director was and saw that the director was Francis Lawrence, I'm familiar with Francis Lawrence. And then all of a sudden it made sense why there was so much damn singing in this movie. And the music was good. Francis Lawrence used to direct music videos. He did. The one that comes to mind directly is Waiting for Tonight by J-Lo. He did that one. He did a bunch more, but that's the first one that comes to mind. So this movie having that music in it and having singing in it, being that it's a story about a songbird, makes sense. Absolutely made sense after that. Beforehand, not so much. But I was thinking about it, getting in the car, that how is this movie different from the other three Hunger Games? Well, Katniss Everdeen had a skill. And Katniss Everdeen's skill was archery. Because she hunted in her district with a bow and arrow. Okay? Well, Lucy Gray's skill in this movie is singing. That's what she does. She's not a fighter. She sings. Okay. Moving on. Now, I do get into movies that show me how a society is constructed and how civilizations or cultures put themselves together after war or how people behave during war. And this is what you have at the Capitol. It's after a major war where they broke everything up into districts, started these Hunger Games, had these districts paying tribute. Remember, they did the punishment. And that was interesting to me to see that society and how that society worked and how Corleone functioned in that society with all these rich people while he was secretly broke as shit. What up, Rayama? That was actually interesting because, no spoiler, but only one person in the whole group knew that he was actually broke. And it was the dean of his school, Dean Hightower, or excuse me, Highbottom, played by Peter Dinklage. He knew Snow was broke and that he needed the school. He didn't tell him that, but he did fuck with him because he knew he was broke. So while Corleone may have had everybody else fooled at the school, the dean was not fooled. The dean knew his father. His father was his friend. He got an axe to grind against his father. Got an axe to grind against Corleone and the Snow family, which is petty as shit. But it kind of goes with what I said about the reason why some people are short because they're close to the devil. Punishment. That is a joke. But be that as it may, Corleone is set to mentor Lucy Gray, and he finds clever ways to get the people in the districts to like and donate to Lucy Gray by humanizing her for the bastards. Because everybody loves her singing. So through this mentor program, the new wrinkle that they threw into the Hunger Games that year, he gets the opportunity to kind of affect the games, switch it in a way to get more people to watch it. And herein lies the connection that grows between Lucy Gray and Corleone on working together to try to make her popular in these games so she can survive and he can survive and get the win that he needs for his family. Now, the first two parts of that were an interesting story. It was an interesting story to me. I was into it. I took very few notes. It looks like a lot, but I took a few notes, seeing how this whole thing progresses and develops. What's going on with these characters and stuff. And I'm not thinking about the original Hunger Games movie the whole time I'm watching it. I'm not thinking about that shit at all. Because mind you, I told you guys, my daughter read those books. I believe I read through a couple of them myself. But it's been a while, and it's not something I pull up all the time memory-wise, so I'm foggy on some of it. I did watch the movies because we read the books, right? So that's kind of how it works in the family. Read the book, you'll watch the movie. Compare and contrast, right? So while I'm watching this movie, yes, the original Hunger Games movies are in the back of my head, but I'm not matching this up to the Hunger Games stuff. I'm just watching it for what it is. I know there's certain threads that should lead forward, but none of it was really blatant, right? There's only one scene that seemed like it was really blatant, and it happens while they're in the arena. But it's a Hunger Games movie. That's what you know. It's something that you know about the Hunger Games, so it's not that big of a deal necessarily. You haven't read the books either, are they? More just saw the movies. Yeah, the movies were decent. I mean, I like J Law. J Law is cute. He's attractive to me. I mean, she says some dumb shit, but he's attractive. What am I supposed to do about that? Rainfire said he doesn't know the Hunger Games. I can't read all of that at the moment, Rainfire, because I'm driving and it's dark. I'm getting old. I have to stop it so I can see. They stopped doing the Thursday early viewings. Well, it's Thursday. I wouldn't see it early. I don't know why they stopped it in your area, but that's why I went ahead and went to go see this on a Thursday, and I bought my ticket on Monday to see it today. And trust me, I needed some levity, something entertaining to watch. Because today was bullshit. But be that as it may, if you have the chance, go back and watch the other Hunger Games movies, so you understand who some of the characters are. I mean, the only character that carries over is Corleana Snow, and then the announcer, played by Jason Schwartzman, who actually, I guess, in a version of Stanley Tucci's character in the later Hunger Games movies. And I forgot that wasn't even Stanley Tucci. I was like, oh shit, that's right, that's not him. That dude was nailing his ass. I thought it was Stanley Tucci. My bad. But the movie does go on at a good pace for the first 2/3 of it, and then after that, it's slow and it's meandering. Now, the funny part is, while watching it, I thought of a couple of other movies, and not because it was blatantly something in there that gave me the impression of these two other movies, but it had a feel of these movies, right? The first part really does feel like, what did I put in there? The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It really feels like that. You know why they're doing this. They're doing this for this show. Everybody's really focused on this. You got to do these things for the show. How can you make these characters real likable so people can bet on it and all the rest of that shit, right? It really felt like The Running Man. The second part of it, you get the whole Hunger Games reaping part, but at a moment in it, it started feeling like Escape from New York to me with Kurt Russell, right? Which was kind of funny. It's kind of funny to me when I thought about it. I was like, damn, Escape from New York time, right? That's what I thought of when I saw it. The last part of it gave me the feel of 1984. It really gave me that feel of 1984, where here's this guy who's tied into this society. He has a job with the government and all the rest of this, and he falls in love with this little, scrabble of a woman in this place, right? And she opens his world up a little bit more to seeing what it means to be, poor. That there's actually some freedom in this poorness, right? There's freedom here where there is not freedom in the capital. And it was kind of interesting, and it was giving me those vibes in 1984, right? I think it was Winston and Julia, right? So, in a sense, you could say it was like three movies put together, but that last part was just too slow. It should have been in the middle, or they changed the story up or dropped it out completely. But it really dragged the movie down. They could have left. They could have cut it off at the second part, and that'd have been a good movie. You could have got a second one and finished it from there. But that's not what happened. Let me get out this goddamn car. I can get inside to my computer in my bed. All right. One sec, you guys. I need to make this transition. Yeah, because I got no power. All right. If you can hear me, give me a 1. If you got all right. Let's get you kids some power. See if we can get this going. All right, Rainfire said, I didn't know Hunger Games was out yet. They stopped doing the Thursday early viewings here. Yeah, it's out. I was reminded of it. Because there's something else out that I actually wanted to see, and I wasn't sure if it was out yet or not. After that strike stuff and the movie schedules got delayed or pushed up, it's hard to see what is out and what is not right now. I will say this: I do want to see The Fall Guy because that was one of my shows I loved in the '80s. So Ryan Gosling doing The Fall Guy might be interesting, depending on how they change that shit up. But as a carpenter, I like that he's wearing Sears Die Hard boots. All right, let's see if I can finish this out. I'm gonna clear stream and let this phone charge. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Like, share, subscribe, support stream if you feel so inclined. I'm supposed to make some phone calls tonight. I was not thinking the movie was that damn long. I didn't know how long that movie was. I sat down in that theater at 7:15. I was out of there about 10:30. I did not know that movie was that long before I sat down. If I did, I would have scheduled it earlier because I am beat. So, word to the wise: go see it early if you're going to see it. If you're going to see it early. Don't see it later in the evening. Get your ass bushwhacked like I did. Rainfire said he'll probably do a double feature games and the leftovers tomorrow. Yeah, got to do that. I got to watch some Bass Reeves too because Stephen asked me about it today and had to tell him, nope, I have not seen it yet. But sorry about that. So now I can actually read what's up on the screen. Ray said he'll catch it on your app. Yeah, I see you. Ahoy, matey. You catch it on your app. You be catching the movie on your app. I was kind of excited about Fall Guy too. That was one of my shows back in the day. Yeah, Fall Guy was my show. Lee Majors, that was my show back in the day. That was that first dude in Hollywood with that raised eyebrow shit. So, may not spend much time in school, but I've taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hang my body on the bay. Hey, hey. Yeah, I'm down for the Fall Guy. I don't know how much it's going to change from the original. I don't even know if Lee Majors is still alive. But if he is alive, I'd like to see a cameo of him in the movie. Because I like Ryan Gosling. I like Emily Blunt. I like the Fall Guy. Okay, I'll check it out. You still need a Turbo Kid review? You realize nobody's paying me to do the Turbo Kid review, right? JT brought that shit over just to share it with me, just to have fun watching it. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but I got a bunch of other reviews ahead of Turbo Kid that I actually need time to do. But I will be getting back to it because I need to settle down. Stop looking for putting it in all the wrong places. BMX skills on point? No. See, this is what it is, Artie More. When I watched Turbo Kid with JT, you know what I had him watch after that? BMX Bandits with Nicole Kidman. Because that's what it reminded me of. And even him watching BMX Bandits, he was seeing what I saw was that Turbo Kid, some of the stuff in Turbo Kid was taken from BMX Bandits. Find it on Amazon if you don't know what BMX Bandits is. What do you remind me? I forgot to ask. Death to Smoochie. I didn't see Death to Smoochie. Did not see that at all. All right. So anyway, we'll finish this reaction up because it's already 30 minutes long. I think Viola Davis playing this goofy role was fine for her. I'm sure they paid her a bunch of money to do it. Doesn't make black women look too good. Because I will say, I was looking for the masculinist angle. I'm not Dr. T, but I was looking for the masculine angle in this and what would be objectionable to it. And what would be objectionable in it is that most of the men in here are led by females, somewhat. Somewhat.
Like all this negativity and this Hunger Games and getting people killed and stuff like that, that's all at the hands of Dr. Gall. Dr. Gall, played by Viola Davis. So I do have a problem with this death and destruction just being wantonly put on people by this black woman. That doesn't look good to me. But what's the alternative? You don't get a role in the movie, and they just make it somebody else. Okay, I guess that's one way to do it. There were some black dudes in here, but they were bucks. They were bucks. One was a big Lenny from Of Mice and Men ass dude who was what up, Mad Villainy? So the other one just wanted to kill everything for people. Given away the way the 10th Hunger Games was actually ran, they're only in one area. They're only in one Coliseum area. Once the bell rings, it's just death to anybody. Last person standing. Now, for all of you who do know that the original Hunger Games, the premise for some of it was taken from Battle Royale, right? The Japanese movie. Part of the premise was taken from Battle Royale. The whole story wasn't taken from Battle Royale, but the main story, the first one and second one, yeah, that's Battle Royale. This one shows you a bit more of a condensed version of what the games started out as all over the place. Fucking Wi-Fi or StreamYard, whatever the fuck, going in and out. What up, Sportaholic? And yes, Battle Royale is a classic art more. One and two. One and two. So this early part of the Hunger Games is pretty freaking brutal. These kids killing each other. And you actually, in a sense, get to see what changes Snow made to the games to at least make it a little bit more entertaining and a bigger spectacle, so to speak. Especially if you go back and watch the original three movies and then watch this one, you'll see it because this is the prequel. Now, I don't know if they're planning to make 3 movies on this one, if this was the first one or not. I don't know. But I like where it stopped. I like where it stopped because it leaves it open to see what Coriolanus Snow does when he goes to basically university, college. When he goes off to college, what happens in between that time? Because now he's had experience in the capital, he's had experience doing war, and now he's had experience in the district. So it will be really interesting to see how that character turns more into the character you know in the regular Hunger Games movies, what he is now in this movie. That would be a little bit more interesting to me. Psychologically, it'd be more interesting to see that turn for him and why he ends up being the way he is, which is always interesting. Other than that, music was good. There wasn't a lot of special effects. Performances were all right. I mean, at some points it kind of looks like Harry Potter. It's a bunch of kids dressed the same way, sitting around watching television screens. I mean, what do you expect? But for the most part, 2/3 of the movie I was into it. The last third, I was like, when is this shit over? And it wasn't because I was hating the movie. It's because tonally, this one shifted. It downshifted really hard. And I wasn't expecting to be there that damn long. Another shit to do. So I was kind of disappointed and wanting it to be over. But all in all, it was decent. I mean, you could be entertained by it for, I guess, the 3 hours I was in there. You could be entertained by it. I mean, it ain't the best thing ever. And it's not the worst thing ever. But you can watch it and be entertained. Just know it's going to be long before you get in there. Like I did not know. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, take my butt to the bathroom, and then to bed. I'm tired. It's been a day, y'all. It's been a day. Thank y'all for coming through. Appreciate you showing up this late. Yes, Artie and More Volcano High is cool too. It is. It is totally off the subject, but yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you guys for coming through, and I'll see you next time. Peace.